Yeah. 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 Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto.
All right, so we've got some interesting stuff to dig into today.
Yeah. Yeah.
John Reed Stark, former SEC, head of Internet Enforcement, right?
You got it.
He's been pretty outspoken, pretty vocal, I would say,
Very much so.
about his skepticism about crypto, hasn't he?
For sure. I mean, calling it a scourge and all that. Pretty strong words.
Yeah, strong words for sure.
Yeah. And now he's saying...
Big change though, right?
Yeah, now he's kind of like, pump the brakes, SEC. Everybody just relax.
The SEC should basically stop everything they're doing around crypto.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big 180.
Huge 180.
Wow, what's going on?
Yeah, no, I mean, the guy's got people scratching their heads.
So is he right?
Well, that's what we're diving into today, right?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah.
Is it all about control?
That's what some people are saying, right?
Yeah. That the U.S. government, they just don't like anything they can't control.
It's a common sentiment for sure.
Yeah. Is that what's really going on here, or is there more to it?
Yeah, let's see if we can unpack that.
All right, so let's start with Stark's argument here.
Okay, so basically, he's pointing to Trump winning the election.
Okay.
Saying that's a sign,
It's a sign of what?
that the public wants policies that are more friendly to crypto.
Okay, so Trump wins equals crypto's going to get a break.
Kind of. I mean, that's his logic. And to be fair, the SEC under Gary Gensler, I mean...
Oh, yeah, Gensler has not been...
They haven't been friendly, not at all.
They've been very aggressive, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, going after Coinbase,
Yeah.
Kraken, Consensus, I mean...
Huge players.
Right.
Like,
Big names.
not just them, though. We saw enforcement actions against...
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about...
Like Immutable.
Immutable?
OpenSea. The NFT space, too. So
Wow.
that just shows you how far they're reaching.
So what are these enforcement actions? Like, I'm not totally...
Sure. So basically, it's like a formal investigation, and then it can lead to all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Penalties, fines, maybe they restrict how a company operates,
So it can have a pretty big impact.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So Stark, I mean...
Remember, he was all for this before.
He was, yeah. He's completely flipped.
Now he's saying with Trump, it's
Yeah.
going to be a complete 180.
He thinks this whole SEC war on crypto, they call it, that's just over.
Done. He thinks they'll focus on settling the cases they already have.
Okay.
And maybe go after really egregious, like, obvious fraud.
Like the really bad actors.
Yeah, the ones that are just blatantly scamming people.
So he was on 60 Minutes, right?
Yeah, he was.
And he was going head-to-head with
Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple.
Ripple. Yeah, I remember that.
It was interesting. So Stark's argument was that the SEC, he thinks they're overreaching.
Interesting.
Creating confusion, potentially stifling innovation.
Okay. But yeah.
But, and this is important, it's not just like a Republicans versus Democrats thing.
So both sides are kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Richie Torres?
Is he a war?
He's a Democrat.
Oh, and he's also been criticizing Gensler.
That's interesting.
Saying, look, the way you're interpreting these securities laws, it's too broad. It's unfairly targeting crypto.
Oh, okay. It's not just a partisan thing, though.
Right. It's more complicated than that.
So it really seems like everybody's trying to figure out...
Yeah. Where does crypto fit in?
Where does it fit in? Yeah.
Right. To this existing financial system we have.
And the rules, I mean, it feels like they're still being written.
They are. It's all happening in real time.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it even more interesting.
More confusing, too.
Yeah, maybe a little both. Right.
So... going back to that question of control.
Mm-hmm. Is it just about protecting investors?
Yeah, because that's what they always say.
Or is there this deeper thing? Like, are they really worried about control?
I mean, it does seem like maybe the government just doesn't like anything they can't fully control.
That's a possible interpretation for sure. I mean, crypto is decentralized by its very nature. But it could also be that they're just trying to find that balance, right?
Okay.
Between innovation and stability.
That makes sense.
I mean, look, new tech always disrupts things.
It does.
And regulations take time to catch up.
Right.
So maybe they're trying to protect consumers while figuring all that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, whatever the reasons, though.
Yeah.
Crypto's not going anywhere, is it?
I don't think so. It feels like it's already embedded in so many different things.
It really does feel like it's here to stay.
It's evolving. It's growing.
Yeah.
The big question is, how's regulation going to catch up? And what does that mean for the future of finance?
Wow, that's a big question.
It is. It's one that we're all going to have to grapple with, I think.
Yeah, definitely something to think about.
Yeah. Maybe that's something our listeners can ponder, you know?
Yeah, what do they think is the real motivation here? What do they think is going to happen with regulation?
It's going to be interesting to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, thanks for diving deep with me.
Of course. Always happy to chat about this stuff.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is.
And definitely lots to keep an eye on.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks again.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Everything crypto, crypto.